Now that we've gone over bond sufficiency, you may be wondering, what happens when my bond is deemed insufficient? Customs officials periodically review each bond on file to determine whether it is adequate to protect the revenue and ensure compliance with applicable law and regulations. If they determine that a bond is inadequate, the principal and surety will be notified in writing. The written notice is known as an insufficiency letter, and it will inform the importer on what the minimum bond increase must be, and when the bond will be rendered insufficient, and a general reason for the insufficiency. The minimum bond size indicated on the insufficiency letter is often a source of confusion for many importers. Since Customs is only looking back at your importing history over the last 365 days, they will require a minimum bond increase based only on that historical information. Meaning, if you, as the importer, know that the duties, taxes, and fees you pay will continue at a higher or increased rate, you should forecast into the future to determine if an even larger bond size is appropriate than the minimum. It is important to correctly forecast the size of the bond before placing the new bond, because Customs does not allow for the bond amount to be amended once the bond is in place. In the event that you only increase to the minimum and then quickly exceed the new bond's capacity, Customs will deem the new bond insufficient and require an even larger bond to be placed. This can lead to issues such as stacking liability and the mandatory placement of collateral when placing a new bond, both of which lead to more cost incurred by you, the importer. Although Customs is not required by law to do so, most insufficiency letters will also inform an importer on when the bond will officially be rendered insufficient. In most cases, the importer will have a specific number of days to terminate the current bond and get a new one in place. This could be 15 or 30 days from the issue date of the letter. During this time frame, entries will still be allowed under the existing bond, but once the allotted time has passed, that bond will be deemed insufficient and entries will no longer be allowed into the US until the new sufficient bond is placed. Don't forget that it takes 15 calendar days to terminate and replace a US Customs bond, so do not wait to get the process started. In rare cases, Customs will have already rendered the bond insufficient at the time of issuing the insufficiency letter. In these cases, an importer will need to terminate the current bond and get a new bond in place as quickly as possible to avoid further delays in their entries. The other piece of information on the insufficiency letter is the general reason for the insufficiency. The exact placement of the reason on the letter may vary, but in this section, Customs will point to a web resource that will state the reason for the increase and specifically mentions a formula described as either Reviewers 1 or Analytical 2. Reviewers 1 refers to when the importer has imported more in terms of duties, taxes, and fees than the current bond's capacity, while Analytical 2 refers to when the importer has outstanding money owed to Customs. For more information about bond sufficiency, watch our entire Customs Bond education series. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more tips and insights into the international trade world.